Chapter 1 of Finding the Joseph Within is titled Rockin' for My Hometown. So I wasn't always Dr. Joseph, the superintendent of schools, the business owner, and so forth. I grew up in Central Islip, New York. In New York, you had everything from prostitution to drugs to the gang violence. The 80s were tough on black men. Back in the 80s, it was the streets that were paying more than minimum wage, and they were always hiring. So we lost thousands of strong black men during that time, but it was those men who protected me in the midst of that pit to push me forward, to have an opportunity to do great things later on in life. So you can't judge a book by its cover. So chapter 1 talks deeply about that tough pit that I was in and identifies some of the folks, some of the folks you wouldn't expect to be there helping guide me through a really tough time.
What was the relationship with you and your mom? Like, was she always on you? Were you her favorite, or,
in chapter 1, I talk a lot about my mom. My mother, without question, is one of the strongest women I have ever met in my life. She was the person that would take anybody into the house. So within my house, we had, prostitutes and drug dealers and gangbangers, but she saw the God in them and showed them God's love. She believed that people had hard circumstances, and the last thing they needed was somebody to be angry towards them. And in chapter 1, I talk about the fact that on probably one of the darkest days of her life, when she threw my dad out because Papa was a Rolling Stone, and when she packed his bags up in a garbage bag and dropped them off and told them have a great effing life. She came back, and it was happened to be on Easter Day.
Right.
Instead of crying and carrying on, she sat me down and we finished painting those Easter eggs.
Wow.
So in a day that should have been and could have been one of the hardest, darkest pits of her life, filled with sorrow and sadness.
Yeah.
As a 4-year-old child, I saw a woman who loved more than she hated.
That's good.
So I hope you've learned a little more about finding the Joseph within. You know more about how God can help you through any difficult circumstance. I hope this book has inspired you and motivated you to be the best you that you can be. If you want to stay connected with me, you can email me at Sean@Joseph and Associates LLC. You can go to my website, which is josephandassociatesllc.com. For booking or speaking engagements, go to josephandassociatesllc.com. Or you could just see me here in the streets of Nashville, in New York City, or somewhere around the country trying to make a difference for kids. But either way, let's stay engaged and let's get things right for our kids.